You had Rachel Zegler on the docket too. I think actresses should be quiet.
I'm
So like
so
I
angry.
understand
She's
why.
such an asshole.
You know, what
Is she the one that's on the cover of Cosmo with the cover story authored by Jack Anthony?
I don't know. I
Is
just
that
know
the
of her
same girl?
stupid statements in the
Let me
news.
look this up.
yeah, I think actresses should be quiet. And
I
like,
love.
This has been such a catastrophic nightmare for Disney that Disney has decided to cancel the premieres of Snow White.
The rumors are spreading faster than wildfire. Did Gal Gadot just throw Rachel Zegler under the bus for this film's colossal PR meltdown? Or is this just another overhyped controversy blown out of proportion? Let's break it down.
Rachel Zegler, who stars as Snow White, condemned Prince Charming as weird, stalker, adding that she hates the original. Nice start. Leaked photos from the set revealed that Seven Dwarfs had been sensationally axed, replaced by multiracial, gender non-specific, magical humans.
Love it or hate it, there's no denying that this live-action remake has become one of Disney's most controversial projects in recent history. But wait, it gets even spicier. Have you heard Rachel Zegler's take on Prince Charming? She didn't hold back, calling him a stalker and labeling the beloved 1937 animated classic as outdated and backward.
It's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is, yeah.
by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming
So
about
she's gonna die.
love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can.
Doesn't that sound like a guaranteed way to stir up Disney fans? Some say Ziegler's remarks tarnished the film's reputation before anyone even saw a single frame, while others believe it was time to modernize an 80-year-old fairy tale. So, where do you stand in the debate?
Here's the thing. For those of you who have forgotten, right now, it's just, yes, this is, so people are upset and people are not looking to watch this film, Snow White, because they're passionate. And she's thrilled to be a part of something. And she's just doing her.
If you're tired of Hollywood's endless woke debates, flooding your social media feed, hold on. This saga is just getting started. And now, for the biggest twist. The dwarfs aren't even dwarfs anymore. That's right. Disney's decision to replace the iconic Seven Dwarfs with CGI-created magical creatures has sparked outrage. Fans argue that the studio is erasing a key part of what made the original so legendary. But here's the real question. Are these changes more disrespectful than the outdated stereotypes they were trying to avoid? Or is Disney simply stuck in a no-win situation? No matter which side you're on, the reaction has been explosive. Some call it progress, others say it's an insult. The online debates are so fiery, you could roast marshmallows on your phone. And then there's Gal Gadot, who seems to be quietly distancing herself from Rachel Zegler's controversial remarks. While Zegler's comments about the stalker prince and her dislike for the original Snow White drew endless eye rolls, Gadot has taken a completely different approach. She's praised the classic, acknowledged its legacy, and carefully sidestepped any direct references to her co-star's criticisms. So, is this a strategic PR move to keep her reputation intact? Or is she subtly calling out Ziegler's comments without saying a word?
If you disagree with the sentiment, just hit the unfollow button. I don't need your business.
You know, what's really interesting about this is not that this is something new. Rachel Zegler has been doing this for a very long time.
Fans on social media are dissecting every interview clip, reading between the lines, and coming up with all sorts of theories. Are people overanalyzing, or is the tension really there? And here's another major red flag. Did you notice Disney completely scrapped the traditional red carpet premiere? That's right, no grand Hollywood Boulevard rollout, no flashing cameras capturing a star-studded event. According to insiders, Disney execs are in full damage control mode, afraid that any live event could spiral into yet another PR disaster. Could this be their way of avoiding more controversy, or is it just another sign that they already know the film is in trouble?
Rachel Zegler on the docket is she's an asshole. That's number one.
What if Rachel Zegler, already a lightning rod for media controversy, dropped yet another viral comment under the spotlight? Some speculate that Disney is trying to contain the PR wildfire by keeping her away from open mics. But could this strategy backfire? If fans start believing that Disney is abandoning Zegler when she needs their support the most, it might spark an even bigger controversy. Is the House of Mouse setting itself up for an even greater disaster, or are they wisely avoiding a meltdown before it even starts?
And it's really mean to put her next to Gal Gadot, who's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
So
It's
you know.
not fair. We argued about
Have you been keeping up with Rachel Zegler's political remarks? she hasn't held back on her opinions about Donald Trump or progressive reforms. While some fans admire her outspokenness, others see it as a reason to boycott. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot's background as an Israeli actress and former soldier contrasts sharply with Zegler's vocal support for Palestinian causes. Though neither has publicly addressed their differing viewpoints, fans have certainly noticed the silence between them. Could this political divide be fueling an unspoken tension, or is it just speculation run wild? And then there's Peter Dinklage, who reignited the controversy by calling out Disney's supposed hypocrisy, praising the studio for casting a Latina Snow White, while still telling what he sees as a backward story about dwarfs living in a cottage. His comments sent shockwaves through Hollywood, leaving many wondering, is Disney trying to modernize its classics, or is it just making changes for the sake of optics? Peter Dinklage's sharp criticism pushed Disney to clarify its stance, stating that the Seven Dwarfs were replaced to avoid offensive stereotypes. But that explanation sparked even more debate, with critics arguing that removing dwarf roles entirely only deprived actors with dwarfism of potential job opportunities. Did Disney's attempt at damage control backfire, or was Dinklage's criticism off the mark? Social media is still ablaze, and the bigger question looms, will this movie even be profitable? Rumors suggest Disney insiders are losing sleep over the possibility of a box office disaster. Early audience reactions have been lukewarm at best, with calls for boycotts, relentless online negativity, and mainstream coverage of the controversy. Some industry experts predict the film's reception could be catastrophic. Are we looking at another John Carter-level flop, or can Gal Gadot's global star power salvage a few million at the box office? It's all up in the air, and you can practically hear Disney's marketing team scrambling for a fix. And if you think all the discourse about story changes and modern ideals is just noise, think again. Many fans see this fiasco as a symptom of a larger issue: frustration with Disney's recent track record of live-action remakes. From The Lion King and Mulan to Pinocchio, and now Snow White, audiences are asking, has Disney lost its creative spark, replacing storytelling with a checklist of modern updates? Are we witnessing the downfall of Disney's once guaranteed box office gold, or is Snow White just an unfortunate victim of controversy? Which side are you on? Maybe you're still curious enough to buy a ticket, or perhaps you'd rather watch paint dry than see another beloved classic retooled. But let's not forget the personal angle. How does Rachel Zegler really feel about the backlash? Some say she brought it on herself with her outspoken remarks, especially when she told critics to unfollow if they didn't like her takes. Others argue that she's still young and new to Hollywood and might not have realized how every word can be magnified online. Should she be given some grace, or has she sealed her own fate in the industry, viewing them through a modern lens? Should classic tales remain untouched, or is it natural for them to be reimagined for new generations? The debate rages on, and Rachel Zegler has gone noticeably quiet in recent weeks, perhaps realizing that every comment fuels fresh headlines. Meanwhile, Gal Gadot remains the epitome of composure. Has she mastered the art of stepping away from controversy? Whether you admire her strategy or find it overly cautious, there's no denying she's handled things differently. While Zegler criticized the original Snow White, Gadot has consistently called it an honor to be part of its legacy. She's even praised the passion of longtime fans, framing it as proof of the story's enduring impact. Some believe this is a subtle dig at Zegler, as if Gadot is subtly reminding everyone to respect what came before. Are we overanalyzing harmless comments, or is this a PR masterclass in keeping things professional? Only time will tell, but their contrasting approaches are as obvious as a glass slipper at a sneaker convention. And what about the internal drama at Disney? Executives were reportedly blindsided by the intensity of the backlash. According to rumors, many assumed that casting a Latina actress as Snow White would be universally applauded, underestimating how deeply fans cherish the original's aesthetic. Pair that with the removal of the dwarfs and Zegler's viral remarks, and you've